You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
Hi, Kent. My question is, how can one move to the next level as a software engineer? Because I feel like it's just all about algorithms and design patterns. So, are there any other foundational stuff that one needs to know in order to move to the next level? Things that are language agnostic.
That was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for the question. I think the best way that you can move from just like a regular individual contributor into a more senior or even staff level role at your organization is to kind of push yourself into getting that kind of experience with those complex system software that you want to. And so that means even if you're not invited to a meeting, you can ask if you can attend. Don't like just show up. That'd be kind of weird. But like if they're having a system design meeting, then you can ask if you can attend just to be a fly on the wall. And then and really be a fly on the wall. You don't want to put yourself or put other people in a position where they're like, oh yeah, every time this person comes to the meeting, it always takes forever because they're always peppering us with questions and interrupting the flow of the meeting. You wouldn't want to do that, but definitely write down notes so that you can ask questions from people later. But the more initiative that you demonstrate in doing that sort of thing, the more opportunities will come your way. And people say, oh yeah, Jordan, he was there. I think he could take this piece. And then you could even ask if you could take part in some like project that is upcoming and be a leading role in a smaller project. I actually just had a couple conversations with some web developers today who are staff level software engineers. In fact, all three of them, I spoke to 3 women today, interviewed them for the Epic Web expert interview series. And all 3 of them are either staff level engineers right now or have been in the past. And so we talked about that a little bit, where staff level is responsible for bridging the gap between the product and engineering and across multiple teams. And so there's a lot of responsibility there. And each one of them it really said, like, you've got to put yourself into those situations where you're going to be required to or where you're going to have the opportunity to lead a project. And the more time that you spend doing that, the more experience you're going to develop. And so I think leveling up in like from a career standpoint is very similar to getting into the career in the first place. And that is just acting the part as much as you reasonably can. Now, again, you don't want to be like on the annoying side where people are like, oh man, they keep on coming in and disrupting what we're trying to do. So you do want to be careful of that. But as reasonable as you can, try to participate in those higher level discussions. And then eventually you'll be trusted or you'll gain the experience where you're trusted with a small project. And then over time you get larger and larger projects. And yeah, it definitely does take time. Another thing, as far as since you mentioned in the description here, foundational knowledge, I think that it's really important to understand at least one level below where you operate. And so if you are working in React front-end code base, then you should understand the DOM and understand how React is doing what it's doing so that it can display what's on the screen. And then over time, potentially you will be working or operating more at that level. And so then you can go a level below and maybe start to understand the specification and even how some of this stuff is implemented. And of course, you'll just go in any direction that you want to for what your ultimate goal is as an engineer. So if you want to be like really, really solid at the browser, then that's where you dive deep. If you want to get more into systems design, complex systems and software, as you mentioned in your description, then you'll maybe want to start going more toward the back end and just keep on going deeper and deeper in these levels. And that just requires a foundational understanding of these things. And so when often when people will take my courses, they'll skip over the first stuff, the foundational stuff, because they'll think, oh, well, I don't need that. I'm already an experienced engineer in all of this. But that's a mistake, because when we're learning something, we're typically learning it to ship, and we will end up skipping important things just by nature of the fact that we're only learning what's necessary for us to ship. And so it's important for you to go beyond that and actually go through the fundamentals and really understand that foundational stuff. So I hope I said a couple things in there that are helpful to you, Jordan. I wish you the very best of luck in your endeavors.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.